The drama surrounding Daniel Dubois' rise through the heavyweight ranks had already captured plenty of attention, but on this particular night, the young British powerhouse faced a challenge that promised more than another routine demolition. Across the ring stood Richard Lartey, the rugged fighter from Ghana whose journey to the contest had been anything but smooth. Visa complications had delayed his arrival, forcing him into a last-minute rush just to make the fight happen. Yet despite the obstacles, he entered the arena carrying confidence, a respectable professional record, and a reputation for possessing a dangerous right hand. As the opening bell rang, there was an immediate sense of anticipation hanging over the crowd. Daniel Dubois had built his reputation on explosive performances and devastating knockout. Fans had become accustomed to seeing opponents crumble beneath his power in frighteningly quick fashion. The question everyone was asking was simple: would this be another brief appearance, or would Richard Lartey prove capable of extending the contest and revealing something new about the young prospect? Dubois wasted no time in trying to provide the answer. He stormed forward from the opening seconds, firing a crisp right hand that instantly found its target. It was the type of shot that had ended so many previous nights early. Lartey felt the impact and was pushed backward, but he did not collapse. Instead, he responded with punches of his own, showing from the outset that he had not traveled all this way simply to survive. For a moment, the fight threatened to become exactly the kind of reckless heavyweight exchange that can change everything in an instant. Both men stood their ground and launched heavy shot. The danger was obvious. In the heavyweight division, one punch can erase every game plan, every prediction, and every expectation. Dubois appeared eager to make a statement, perhaps a little too eager, and there were signs that his enthusiasm could lead him into unnecessary risk. Still, even in those early exchanges, the physical advantages of Dubois were impossible to ignore. At just 21 years old, he already looked every bit the imposing heavyweight contender. His movement was sharp, his jab was purposeful, and his confidence was unmistakable. Rather than remaining in the pocket after attacking, he began using subtle footwork to create distance, showing maturity that often gets overlooked when discussions focus solely on his knockout power. Lartey, however, was proving tougher than many expected. This was not a man intimidated by the bright lights or by the reputation standing opposite him. He absorbed punishment, continued advancing, and looked for opportunities to land his own right hand. Every time Dubois connected with something meaningful, Lartey answered by refusing to back down. As the first round progressed, Dubois settled into a more controlled rhythm. Instead of chasing a spectacular finish, he began piecing together combinations. A jab here, a right hand there, a step back to make his opponent miss. It was the kind of disciplined boxing that coaches love to see from young fighters with enormous power. The crowd may crave immediate destruction, but development often happens in moments like these, when a fighter learns patience. By the end of the opening round, Dubois had clearly done enough to establish control, yet there was also a growing sense that Lartey might provide a sterner examination than anticipated. He had survived the initial storm, and surviving against Daniel Dubois was already an achievement that many others had failed to accomplish. The second round began with Dubois looking increasingly comfortable. His jab started snapping into Lartey's face with greater authority. Each punch seemed designed not only to score but to wear down resistance. Heavyweights often speak about the difference between speed and weight in a punch. Dubois possessed both, but it was the heaviness of his shots that stood out. Even punches that did not appear devastating carried a draining effect. Lartey continued pressing forward bravely. He swung aggressively whenever opportunities presented themselves, trying to disrupt Dubois' rhythm. The Ghanaian knew that standing at range and allowing Dubois to dictate the pace would likely end badly. If he was going to have success, it would come through pressure and unpredictability. Then came a brief interruption. A punch strayed low, and Lartey took a moment to recover. It was a reminder that fights are often messy affairs, full of interruptions and adjustments. Once the action resumed, both men returned to work immediately. What happened next provided one of the first real surprises of the evening. Lartey found space for a right hand over the top. It was not a perfect shot, but it landed clean enough to catch attention. Dubois felt it. The crowd reacted. For a split second, there was evidence that the young favorite could be touched. The moment energized Lartey. Suddenly, he had proof that his power could reach the target. He became more aggressive, looking to capitalize on any opening. But Dubois responded exactly as experienced observers hoped he would. Rather than panicking, he took a few steps backward, regained his composure, and reset. It was a subtle sequence, but an important one. Heavyweight prospects are often judged not only by how they handle success, but by how they react when things go wrong. Before the round ended, Dubois delivered his own emphatic reminder of the danger he represented. A thunderous right hand crashed into Lartey and visibly hurt him. The Ghanaian immediately tightened his guard and covered up, absorbing punishment while searching for a chance to recover. Dubois sensed vulnerability and attacked, but Lartey's determination kept him standing. As the bell sounded, there was no doubt who had won the round. Yet there was also a growing intrigue around the contest. Lartey had shown courage, durability, and flashes of offensive threat. Dubois remained in control, but this was no longer looking like a routine walkover. The third round would provide some of the fight's most dramatic moments. By now, Lartey's corner had become increasingly animated whenever their fighter landed. Every successful punch generated excitement because opportunities were becoming rarer. Dubois was controlling distance more effectively, using his jab to dictate where the exchanges occurred. Then he landed a huge right hand. The impact forced Lartey forward and into a clinch. The punch clearly shook him. Once again, it looked as though the finish might be approaching. But just as Dubois appeared ready to take over completely, the fight suddenly swung into chaos. Lartey fired back. He launched counters with surprising determination, refusing to accept the role of victim. An uppercut found its mark. A right hand followed. The exchanges became wild, emotional, and dangerous. Instead of maintaining long-range discipline, Dubois allowed himself to get drawn into a firefight. For the first time in his professional career, there were genuine anxious moments. The crowd sensed it immediately. Heavyweight boxing possesses a unique electricity when both men are hurt or vulnerable. Every punch feels capable of ending the contest. Every exchange carries enormous consequences. For a brief stretch, that was exactly what unfolded. Lartey charged forward with everything he had. Knowing he was trailing, knowing he was absorbing punishment, he decided to gamble. The Ghanaian unleashed one attack after another, determined to force the favorite into uncomfortable territory. Dubois stood his ground and answered. The punches flew from both directions. Some landed cleanly, others glanced off gloves and shoulders. But the intensity was undeniable. This was no longer simply a showcase for a rising star. It had become a genuine fight. What impressed many observers was Dubois' resilience. Even when confronted with resistance and unexpected pressure, he continued producing the cleaner, more effective work. His jab remained a weapon. His right hand remained dangerous, and despite moments of recklessness, he never appeared mentally shaken. Near the end of the round, he produced one of his sharpest sequences. A clever feint froze Lartey for just long enough to create an opening. Dubois immediately capitalized, whipping a left hook over the top. It was a glimpse into the technical development occurring beneath the headlines about power. As the fighters returned to their corners, the crowd buzzed with excitement. Lartey had delivered the most competitive moments of Dubois' young career. Yet despite those flashes, Dubois remained ahead on every scorecard. The fourth round began with a sense that the end might be approaching. Lartey continued marching forward, still brave, still determined, but signs of wear were becoming increasingly visible. Every heavy shot from Dubois appeared to leave a mark. The accumulation of punishment was taking its toll. Even so, the Ghanaian refused to surrender. Whenever Dubois landed, Lartey answered back. Whenever he was pushed backward, he fought to regain ground. His courage earned respect from everyone watching. Dubois, meanwhile, started showing greater patience again. The wild exchanges of the previous round had provided a valuable lesson. Instead of rushing recklessly, he returned to a more controlled approach. The jab reappeared. The footwork improved. The right hand remained loaded and ready. Then came the moment that changed everything. Lartey advanced, attempting once more to close distance and create opportunities. But this time, he walked directly into danger. Dubois saw the opening instantly. The right hand exploded forward with terrifying force. It was the punch he had been searching for all night. The timing was perfect. The accuracy was devastating. The impact was unmistakable. Lartey walked straight onto it and absorbed the full force of one of the division's most dangerous young punchers. The effect was immediate. His body reacted before his mind could process what had happened. He crashed to the canvas, the arena erupting as thousands realized they had just witnessed the finish. For a moment, Lartey tried to rise. His courage never abandoned him. Even after absorbing such a crushing blow, he fought to regain his feet. But the referee took one look and understood the situation. The fight was over. The knockout victory belonged to Daniel Dubois. The crowd roared as the young heavyweight celebrated another emphatic finish. But this performance carried significance beyond the result itself. Yes, he had delivered the knockout everyone expected. Yes, he had once again demonstrated extraordinary power. Yet the story of the night was larger than a single punch. Richard Lartey had forced Dubois to answer questions. Could he handle pressure? Could he recover from being caught clean? Could he maintain composure during chaotic exchanges? Could he adapt when an opponent refused to cooperate with the script? The answers, while not perfect, were largely positive. Dubois showed flaws. He took risks. He allowed himself to be drawn into unnecessary battles. There were moments when experience and patience could have